Have you ever stood in your kitchen, slicing into a fresh fruit, thinking to yourself, I'm doing the right thing for my heart, only to find out later that it might actually be harming you? I know, it sounds shocking. But as someone who's worked with older adults for over 3 decades, I can tell you, not all fruits are friendly to a senior heart. You've always been told that fruits are nature's candy, packed with vitamins and fiber. And that's mostly true. But for those of you in your 60s, 70s, and 80s, when your heart is working harder and your metabolism is slowing down, some fruits can actually do more harm than good. High sugar content, hidden acids, and even certain enzymes can silently contribute to high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, and artery stiffness. I've seen seniors who think they're making healthy choices but are unknowingly putting themselves at risk. That's why I'm here today, not to scare you, but to empower you with knowledge. Because your heart deserves better, and you deserve to feel strong, steady, and confident in every bite you take. I'm Dr. Linda Rose, and today I'm going to walk you through 7 specific fruits that I truly urge you to cut back on, or avoid entirely, if you care about your heart health. This isn't guesswork. These are science-backed insights I share with my own patients every single day. Before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell, so you never miss a simple, science-backed health tip, designed especially for older adults like you. If you find this video helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your feedback is invaluable and helps me improve these videos for your benefit. Now, let's begin. Fruit 1. Oranges, the hidden sugar spike. Now, let me be clear. There's no denying that oranges are a powerhouse of vitamin C. They've long been marketed as a go-to for immunity and energy. But here's what I always tell my patients in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's automatically good for your heart, especially in large amounts. Oranges are surprisingly high in natural sugar and citric acid. One medium orange can contain up to 15 grams of sugar. And when you're older, your body doesn't metabolize sugars the way it used to. Even the sugar from fruit can cause rapid blood sugar spikes, which places unnecessary stress on your heart and arteries. Over time, this contributes to insulin resistance, weight gain around the belly, and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes, which we know is a major threat to cardiovascular health. But that's not the only concern. The acid in oranges can also irritate your stomach lining, especially if you take common medications like blood pressure pills, aspirin, or cholesterol-lowering statins. I've had patients who regularly drank orange juice in the morning and wondered why their stomachs felt inflamed or irritated, and it was often this exact combination. And let's talk about orange juice for a moment. I strongly advise against it. Even if the label says 100% natural, most commercial juices are stripped of fiber and loaded with sugar, often more than a can of soda. Without the fiber to slow the absorption, that sugar hits your bloodstream like a tidal wave. Your heart doesn't appreciate that. So what's the solution? If you truly love oranges, enjoy them only occasionally, and never on an empty stomach. Always pair them with a handful of nuts or a bit of protein to soften the sugar impact. Better yet, switch to lower sugar alternatives like berries, which I'll explain more about in an upcoming video. Your heart works hard for you every single day. Help it out by being mindful of what you're feeding it. You don't have to give up all fruits, but you do have to make wiser choices, especially at this beautiful stage of life. Fruit 2. Grapes, the sugar bomb you didn't see coming. Now, grapes may seem like a harmless, even playful snack, easy to grab, sweet to taste, and often labeled as a heart-healthy fruit. But here's the truth I share with every patient over 60. Grapes are sneaky. They're one of the most misleading fruits when it comes to sugar content and heart impact. Just a small handful, say, 15 to 20 grapes, can pack in over 23 grams of sugar. And because grapes are small and bite-sized, most people don't stop at just a handful. You can easily eat 2 or 3 servings without realizing it, which sends your blood sugar soaring. And for an aging heart, those spikes create a dangerous roller coaster that affects everything from your blood vessels to your insulin response. Let me explain why this matters. When your blood sugar spikes rapidly, Your body responds by producing more insulin. Over time, especially in your later years, this insulin resistance builds and contributes to plaque buildup in your arteries. A silent killer that can lead to stroke, heart attack, and heart failure. I've seen it far too often in patients who thought they were eating healthy, just because their snack was fruit-based. Another issue is that grapes are low in fiber, especially compared to fruits like apples or pears. That means all that sugar gets absorbed quickly, overwhelming your system. You're not getting much benefit in return, just a rush of sweetness and a crash that leaves your heart struggling to catch up. And I haven't even mentioned raisins, dried grapes, which are even worse. Just one small box of raisins can contain over 25 grams of sugar and offer little to no fiber. That's like eating a candy bar disguised as a fruit. I understand, grapes are tasty and convenient. But that's exactly what makes them dangerous in large amounts. If you must include them in your diet, do so sparingly. 5 to 10 grapes with a protein-rich snack is far safer than eating them by the bowl. Or better yet, replace them with blackberries or raspberries, which are rich in antioxidants and much lower in sugar. Your heart deserves nourishment that supports it, not sugar bombs that slowly wear it down. It's these small adjustments, day by day, that add up to longer life and greater vitality. Fruit 3. Bananas. The potassium paradox. Bananas often get praised as a superfruit, rich in potassium, easy to digest, and an ideal on-the-go snack. And yes, potassium is essential for heart health, especially for maintaining healthy blood pressure. But here's something I remind all my older patients. In the world of senior heart health, balance is everything. And bananas, though popular, can quietly tip that balance in the wrong direction. Let's start with sugar, again. A single medium banana contains about 14 grams of sugar and 27 grams of carbohydrates. That's more than some desserts. And while natural sugar isn't the same as processed sugar, your heart doesn't know the difference when your blood sugar spikes. For seniors, whose insulin sensitivity naturally declines with age, that spike can put added pressure on the heart and increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, belly fat accumulation, and even cognitive decline over time. Now, let's revisit potassium. It's true, bananas are loaded with it. But too much potassium, especially if you have kidney issues or are taking certain heart medications like ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics, can be dangerous. Your kidneys may struggle to remove the excess potassium from your body efficiently, which can lead to a condition called hyperkalemia. That can cause an irregular heartbeat or even cardiac arrest in severe cases. I've seen older adults eat 1 or 2 bananas daily, believing they were doing something good for their heart, only to develop symptoms like fatigue, nausea, and arrhythmia, all tied to excessive potassium or blood sugar fluctuation. If you're on medication for blood pressure or heart failure, bananas might not be as harmless as you think. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy a banana again. But moderation is key. If you love them, eat only half at a time, and ideally pair it with a spoon of peanut butter or a small handful of nuts to help balance the sugar. And if your doctor has mentioned kidney concerns or warned about potassium levels, it may be best to avoid bananas altogether. Your heart doesn't need perfect choices, it needs informed ones. And being aware of fruits like bananas helps you make small, steady changes that support long-term vitality. That's what I want for you, not restriction, but wisdom. Fruit 4. Pineapple, the acidic offender. Pineapple. Tropical, juicy, refreshing. It's often seen as a vacation on a plate. But for those of you in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, pineapple can quietly become a serious irritant, not just to your stomach, but to your heart. Let me explain why I often ask my senior patients to steer clear of this fruit, especially if they have heart issues, acid reflux, or are on multiple medications. Pineapple contains a powerful enzyme called bromelain, which can interfere with how your body processes certain medications, especially blood thinners and antibiotics. I've had patients who took pineapple as a natural anti-inflammatory, not realizing it was intensifying their medication's effects and leading to unexpected bruising or bleeding risks. But that's not the only red flag. Pineapple is highly acidic. As we age, our stomach lining becomes more sensitive, and the protective mucus barrier gets thinner. Eating acidic fruits like pineapple can trigger or worsen conditions like acid reflux, gastritis, or even ulcers. And here's where the heart comes in. Acid reflux doesn't just cause heartburn. It mimics chest pain and can elevate stress hormones, causing palpitations or anxiety-like symptoms that put unnecessary strain on your cardiovascular system. Then there's the sugar. 1 cup of pineapple chunks contains about 16 grams of sugar, and most of that is fructose, which has been linked to increased fat around the liver and heart. That kind of sugar overload, especially if eaten frequently, can spike inflammation markers in your blood, something every aging heart wants to avoid. And let's be honest, pineapple is addictive. Its sharp sweetness hits fast, and without the balance of fiber or fat, it causes a sudden sugar surge and crash. That can leave you feeling lightheaded, drained, or shaky. Not exactly how you want to feel after a snack. So what's the better option? If you crave tropical flavor, reach for papaya instead. It's gentler on the stomach, lower in sugar, and still rich in antioxidants and digestive enzymes. Or better yet, stick to small portions of low-sugar fruits like kiwi or blueberries. As always, my goal isn't to take away the foods you love, it's to protect the heart that keeps you going. With just a little awareness, you can still enjoy your favorite flavors in ways that serve your health, not stress it. Fruit 5. Watermelon. The hydrating deception. Now, I know some of you might be surprised to see watermelon on this list. After all, it's hydrating, refreshing, and seems like the perfect fruit for a warm day. But here's what I want you to understand. Just because something is mostly water doesn't mean it's harmless, especially for your heart. Watermelon is made up of over 90% water, yes, but it's also packed with natural sugar, particularly in the form of fructose, which is quickly absorbed into the bloodstream. A single wedge of watermelon, something you could finish in just a few bites, contains up to 18 grams of sugar. And since it's so easy to eat a lot of it, many people end up consuming far more sugar than they realize in just one sitting. For seniors, this can become a real problem. Your metabolism slows as you age, and your body's ability to manage sugar weakens. That flood of sugar can trigger insulin spikes, fatigue, and even episodes of dizziness or heart palpitations. And if you're someone living with prediabetes or on medication for high blood pressure, that sugar load can throw off your entire balance for the day. Another hidden issue with watermelon? It has a high glycemic index, which means it causes your blood sugar to rise very rapidly. There's little fiber to slow it down, and while you may feel satisfied for a few minutes, your blood sugar drops soon after, leaving you tired, cranky, or even anxious. I've had patients describe this pattern as a sugar roller coaster. They didn't even realize they were riding. And here's one more thing to keep in mind. Watermelon also acts as a natural diuretic. That might sound helpful, but for older adults, frequent urination can quickly lead to dehydration and loss of important electrolytes, which impacts your blood pressure and heart rhythm. If you're already taking diuretics for heart failure or high blood pressure, watermelon may exaggerate the effects and leave you feeling weak or dizzy. So, what can you do if you love it? Enjoy a small portion, perhaps half a cup, after a balanced meal, never on an empty stomach. And always hydrate with water, not fruit, if your goal is to support heart function. Your heart deserves consistency, not spikes and crashes. Watermelon may seem innocent, but for aging adults, it can do more harm than good when eaten mindlessly. Remember, smarter choices, not stricter ones, are what keep your heart strong and steady. Fruit 6. Green apples. The surprising stressor. Green apples have long been seen as the healthy apples, the tart, crisp cousin of the sweeter red varieties. And yes, they do have slightly fewer calories and sugar than red apples. But here's what most people don't know, especially seniors. The acidity and fiber type in green apples can actually irritate your gut and stress your heart, especially when you're older. Let me explain. Green apples are high in malic acid, which gives them that tart flavor. But for many older adults, this acid can be tough on the stomach lining, especially if you suffer from acid reflux, indigestion, or are on long-term medications like NSAIDs or statins. I've had several patients over the years complain of chest tightness or burning in their throat, thinking it was heart-related, when in fact it was acid reflux triggered by eating acidic fruits like green apples on an empty stomach. Now let's talk about fiber. While apples are famous for being high in fiber, much of it is insoluble, which can be harsh on sensitive digestive systems. If you've noticed bloating, gas, or irregular bowel movements after eating raw green apples, you're not imagining it. And when your gut is inflamed or uncomfortable, it creates stress in the body, something the heart feels directly. Remember, your gut and heart are more connected than you think. Chronic gut irritation can lead to systemic inflammation, which increases your risk of heart disease. Another concern is the pesticide load. Apples consistently rank among the top fruits with the highest pesticide residue. For older adults with weakened detoxification systems, especially those with liver or kidney concerns, this chemical burden can quietly stress your body's natural balance, affecting hormone levels, immune function, and yes, your heart. So what do I suggest? If you love apples, opt for organic red apples, like Fuji or Gala. They're gentler on the stomach, slightly higher in antioxidants, and much less acidic. And always eat them with the skin only if organic, and alongside a protein source to slow down the sugar absorption. Your heart thrives on peace, not irritation. Even fruits that seem innocent, like green apples, can quietly contribute to stress and inflammation when eaten carelessly. But don't worry, we're not giving up apples forever. We're just learning to eat smarter, not stricter. Fruit 7. Cherries, the tiny troublemakers. Cherries, sweet, juicy, and often praised for their antioxidant power. Many people over 60 love them because they're easy to chew, gentle on the stomach, and taste like nature's candy. But here's something I need you to understand. Cherries can be dangerous when overconsumed, especially for your heart and blood sugar levels. And most seniors don't even realize they're overdoing it. Just 1 cup of cherries contains around 18 grams of sugar. That's a lot for such a small fruit, and because they're bite-sized, they're incredibly easy to eat mindlessly. I've had patients snack on them during TV time, thinking they were being healthy, only to end up with sugar spikes that caused dizziness, palpitations, and energy crashes an hour later. And these sugar swings? They're hard on an aging heart. Now, let's talk about the glycemic load. While cherries have some fiber, they're still relatively high on the glycemic scale. That means they raise your blood sugar faster than you might expect. For older adults with prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or insulin resistance, this fruit can quietly chip away at blood vessel health and heart stability over time. There's also the issue of uric acid. Cherries are often recommended to people with joint pain or gout because they help reduce inflammation. But if you eat too many, they can actually have the opposite effect, especially if your kidneys aren't functioning at full strength. When your kidneys can't filter excess acids efficiently, your body retains them. And that buildup contributes to increased blood pressure and poor circulation, both of which are enemies of a healthy heart. And don't forget about dried cherries. They might seem convenient, but they're often loaded with added sugar and completely stripped of their water content, making them even more concentrated and harmful in large amounts. If you love cherries, I'm not telling you to eliminate them. But limit yourself to a small handful, about 5 to 10 cherries at a time, and always pair them with a bit of fat or protein to slow the sugar absorption. Better yet, choose fruits like blackberries or kiwi, which offer sweetness with much less sugar impact. When it comes to your heart, it's not about fear, it's about knowledge. Cherries may look small, but their effect on your cardiovascular system isn't. Choosing the right amount, at the right time, makes all the difference. If you've made it this far, I want you to know, you're already taking powerful steps toward protecting your heart and honoring your health. And that's something to be proud of. The truth is, aging doesn't mean giving things up. It means getting smarter about what you choose. Every bite you take can either support your longevity, or quietly chip away at it. But the beautiful part? You get to decide. I'm not here to scare you away from fruit. I love fruit. But I've seen too many seniors unknowingly harm their hearts with habits they thought were healthy. That's why I made this video. Because once you know better, you can do better. It's never too late to make a change, whether you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or beyond. Even small shifts, like switching from pineapple to papaya, or choosing berries over grapes, can bring big rewards over time. Your heart has been with you through every chapter of your life. It's worked through joy, stress, loss, laughter, and love. Let's give it the care it deserves in this next chapter. You're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. If you found today's video helpful, please give it a like, share it with someone you care about, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss these simple, science-backed tips tailored just for you. And if you'd like to keep learning, I recommend watching this next video on the 6 worst morning habits that are slowly aging your heart. I'll meet you there. Until next time, take care of your heart. It's the only one you've got. Dr. Linda Rose.